Hi, welcome to this channel on YouTube. So today we are here with Fernando Traconi.
Good morning, Elvira.
So we're going to speak about the hot topic that is the Brexit. So first of all, so what is the future of the Brexit?
Well, I think the Brexit has not much more future as they think it will. As far as the Brexit will mean, England, Britain will leave Europe. They will be unplugged. But what it will happen to Europe without Britain? I think the effect won't be much as the modifying the composition of institutions. It means Britain leaves, so the number of members of parliament will be reduced. Not members of the commission, but commissioners that are British, and just the same with all the institutions. The city is finished as soon as they leave Europe. And for focusing the arguments, I would say the important thing for us is what will happen to European citizens with the effect of Brexit, which I think it won't be the effect they pretend it will have. Because they think, I think the Britons, that the Brexit will mean that European people living in Britain can be rid from Britain as soon as they want. But I think it won't happen that. As far as Britain is involved in the whole law community, which does not mean only the European Union. It's a much more and a huge amount of international treaties that they must respect, and they must comply. So it won't happen that for the reason of being non-British, you cannot work in Britain in the same conditions of salary and preparation than a person born in Britain, because this is not a question of European Union. This is a question of international law.
And it's a question of the rule of law in general terms, in constitutional law. So you cannot discriminate people because of nationality. That is what the government of May is trying to do. In fact, The Guardian published that the government sent some letters to some citizens, like telling them, like, leave the country.
Listen, I don't believe in the truth of that news. As far as up to now, they cannot do it because they are now actually they are in the European Union, so they cannot send such kind of letters, which are really absurd and illegal. And in the future time, they won't be able to do it either. As far as if someone is living in a place legally, you cannot change the change of the conditions of living there. It's the same thing at what it happened when a country got into independence in the past times, that they get rid absolutely of all the foreigners that lived in that country. Can you imagine that happening in Britain? I don't.
No, it's
and you cannot ever forget one very important thing. In Britain, there are judges. So many people don't think so.
So yes, but the problem here is they promise one of the consequences of the Brexit when people vote was like, we're going to control immigration. So
I think at the point of view of Britons, the Brexit won't have the effect, so big, so large effect as many people think. It will be quite more reduced. And which will be the term of the effect, I don't know. But I don't think it will be so much.
So, and then we need to look to the European Union institutions.
And they will be ashamed when Brexit really comes and it won't produce what they thought it would.
No, because in fact, if we remember the buses with all the ads there, like, okay, we waste a lot in the European Union's budget, so we are going to recover that and we are going to use it for our social care and everything, and then it was a lie, and after 2 days that the politician recognized that the ads of the buses...
the campaign was a dream. Was a dream of the old times that will never come again.
So well, that's the view from the United Kingdom. And then if we move to the European Union, so what do you think that they are going to be the next steps of the European Union institutions? So we are going to be in this status quo, or we can integrate more competence, or...
The European Union is a question of generosity. And I think you've heard from Mr. Juncker that yesterday or the day before said it's not Europe who wants to go into Turkey, it's Turkey who wants to go into Europe. That's the question. If you want to go, leave. We will remain and we will try to go on building Europe. And I absolutely believe in Europe and the building of Europe. And Europe, each time more tight and more strong, and not a larger Europe, I mean in territory or in population, but in competences and strength. It will come.
So it's nice what you have said about the generosity, because some of the times, like when they arrive there in the European Union institutions, they are trying to only speak about sovereignty, and instead of trying to solve certain problems, they are not in some countries, they stop integration. So in fact, one of the things that after Brexit, I think that the European Union can advance in a proper way, because the Great Britain was one of these countries that it was always against everything.
Yes, breaking the process.
Yes, and then sometimes Poland now was in the same position that the Great Britain, and sometimes in fact the European institutions decided, like, okay, it's Great Britain, they are still there, so they gave to the Great Britain, in my opinion, a treatment that to other countries they have not granted to us, for example. Yeah. So I think more than the numbers that, okay, we are after the Brexit we are going to be 27 member states, and then we need to figure out all the number of members of the Parliament, the European Parliament, or the European Commission, and I think we can advance in a proper way, and then we need to consider that all the states that remain in the European Union are states that have the continental law. So
yes, that's true.
So I think in order to regulate is going to be less problematic, less complex, in fact, that before. So
I only can say one thing, one word. Let's see.
Let's see. Well, that's all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want, and if you haven't liked it, please give us another chance. So thanks.